Hello and welcome everybody. What is going on? So as I mentioned before, I was going to do a video today on all the Bayern players and how they've been playing so far at the Euro. So I've got a list of the Bayern players that I played. I'm not excluding the game today. No, I'm not excluding the France vs Albania game. I'm not talking about that one because I think that one is technically round. Well, that one is technically round two. So I'll talk about that one next week. But for this week's sake, let's talk about the Bayern players that have played at the Euros so far. So, so. I've got a list here right now in no particular order, but let's talk about Germany first, just because that's the very first one on the list here. So, Germany played against Ukraine and won 2-0. Now, Manuel Neuer played, Mario Götze played, Thomas Müller played, Jerome Boateng played, Kimmich didn't play, and Mats Hummels didn't play. So the four players that we're focusing on are Neuer, Götze, Müller, and Boateng. Now, out of those four players, I think the two best players that I played so far were Neuer and Boateng by a long shot. Neuer was really good. He made two fantastic saves in that match, and Boateng obviously he did that one rescue save, but besides that, he actually was really good. His passing was a bit off, but defensively he was amazing. So that's just them two. But the two that I thought were really poor were Müller and Götze. Götze, I felt a bit sorry for him because every time we got the ball, we literally just crossed it, and obviously Götze's not going to be the one that's going to win a cross. So I don't understand why we were crossing with Götze in the box. That didn't make any sense whatsoever to me. And Müller, he just played wide. He didn't actually play in the center whatsoever. So for me, we need to play two wingers. Have Draxler on one wing, have Schürrle on another wing, and then have Müller in the center behind whoever. That's what I would play, sort of like, yeah, sort of. But maybe play Özil on the right and play Müller through the center. I don't know, but for me, he needs to be in the center just because he's so dangerous in the box, and it's just so dangerous trying to get a goal. So that's what I would do personally. But yeah, like if I had to rate those players, I'd give Neuer probably a 7.5. I'd give Boateng a 7.5. I'd give Götze probably a 4, and I'd give Müller probably a 4.5. I thought Götze, like I said, I thought he was really unfortunate just because it were just crosses coming in obviously with him being in the box, and he's not going to win a header. So I really felt sorry for him. If the ball came through the middle, he would have been he would have been outstanding. But it didn't. The ball literally just came as a cross, so he's not going to win that. But next up, we have Poland, where Robert Lewandowski played against Northern Ireland. And honestly, I thought he dropped deep. He dropped deep too far. Like every time Poland actually got the ball, every time they were looking for a striker in the box, he dropped too deep and he couldn't get back into the box. So for me, he needs to actually stay there. He needs to be a target man. He shouldn't drop deep that much. He should just stay there and I'll be like, okay, you know what? Whenever you guys get the ball, I'm right here. You guys know where I am, so you guys can go ahead and cross the ball. You guys can head and lay the ball off to me. I'm gonna get it, but that wasn't the case. That was only not the case. He dropped too deep, like I said, and he just didn't play as a striker. He played more like a number 10 slash winger. So for me, that he really needs to stay as a striker. Essentially he needs to stay there and do well. He is Poland's main player, so he should be there. Saying you guys can rely on me as long as you guys just give me the ball, I'm gonna score. As long as that's the case, I will score. So for me, that's what he needs to improve on in his next game. But obviously, his next game is against Germany tomorrow. So maybe don't do that tomorrow just yet. Just saying. But for me, Lewandowski, I'd give him a 5.5 actually. I didn't think it was that bad. But he certainly could have done a lot better, in my opinion. So next up, we have David Alaba, who I thought was I thought he started pretty well, but then once the game, once the game picked up tempo and whatnot, I thought he kind of faded off the game. And for me, like it just shows that yes, he might like to play in the middle, but for me, he isn't he's in midfielder. No, for me. He is a left back. Okay, there's only one way about it. He's a left back for me, and that's why for me, I personally think that he would have done a lot better if he would have played as a left back because every time he did get the ball, every time he did get the ball on the left wing, he would run, he would try and get a cross in, which would obviously be very dangerous. But like I say, he didn't do that far enough because he wasn't playing as a left back. So for me, I'd say next match play him as a left back. Overall, I'd give David Alaba like a 6.2. I know I'm getting too much in detail, but I'd give him about a 6.2, something along those lines. Not quite a 6.5, but a bit higher than a 6. So that's what I would give David Alaba. Next up, we have Renato Sanches, who played for 20 minutes against Iceland. And the match was a draw actually, but I thought that he did really well. I thought that once he came on, the whole Portugal game changed, and I do think that he's going to start the next match just because he was that good in that match. That there's no reason why he shouldn't start the next match for Portugal now. I think that he was probably one of our best Bayern players this week. For me, I'd give him a 7. Yeah, probably a 7, probably 7.5, something along those lines. Because every time he did get ball, he showed the drive to go forwards. You know, he made 30, 40-meter runs and everything, try to get past the players and everything, try to create a lot. You know, so for me, he really changed the game for Portugal, but it was a bit too late in my opinion. So I'm pretty certain that he's going to play the next match. At least that's the way it is in my opinion. Next up, Thiago played for about 20 minutes in the 1-0 win for the Czech Republic. Now, Thiago, he had a few good chances um, to score a goal, but he kept missing the ball. His header was, I think it was a header. His header was wide. So, yeah, overall, though, I think that he didn't have a bad game, but he was overshadowed by a by a lot, just because obviously Iniesta had such a fantastic performance that Thiago naturally got overshadowed when he came on. So for me, yeah, that really needs to be something that has to be looked at. That Thiago, like I didn't think it was bad, but certainly he wasn't the main man, which is going to be very difficult, obviously, in a team like Spain. For me, I personally give Thiago like a 6.5 in that game, but I do feel like he could have done quite a lot more, because every time, like, it's typical Thiago pass. When he gets the ball, he tries to do 1 or 2 dribbles and then passes it instead of just trying to pass it straight away. So I think that's like the one thing that he perhaps should do, should do quicker. But it is what it is. That's just how he plays. Next up, Coman, who played against Romania. Like I'm not talking about the match against Albania, but the match against Romania. I thought he did pretty well. I thought when he came on, he did pretty well. Not as good as it was, not as good as his performance today, but I thought that he did pretty well against Romania as well, because when he came in, he really injected, a little bit of pace, a little bit of danger, a little bit of crossing here and there. So for me, he was really the thing that changed, that really pushed France forward in the last 20 minutes or so. And yes, he might not have gotten the assist or a goal, but he did the pre-assist for the Payet goal. And overall, I think that he did pretty well in my opinion, because he did try, and that's ultimately what you want from your players, to try and just create something. So for me, he gets a 7 in that game, and that is it for the Euros. Yay! I'll definitely be watching the quarterfinals of the Copa America. I've not been watching that much of the Copa America just because of the time that it's normally on. I've been watching like the highlights and whatnot, but not the actual matches that much. Just the beginning few matches. But since the beginning few matches, I've not been watching much. So I'll definitely be watching, like I said, the quarterfinals where Arturo will play against Mexico. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it so far, and that's the Euros. But that's what I think of the players. Tell me what you guys think of the players. Like I said, I'm not including today's match against Albania. I'll include that in the second round, which the video should be up like next week. But that's just it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. As always, people rate. Thank you for watching. Rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Peace out, and have a nice day. Bye.